Is it all come on? Oh,
Come on in, come on in now. Auntie Leah is in the house. Yeah, 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 yeah. We are kicking it with Auntie Leah. Yeah, let's get it, let's do it, let's go. Yeah, let's go, let's get it with Auntie Leah. Yeah, yeah, come on, let's do it. Nothing better than kicking it with Auntie Leah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Auntie Leah is in the house. Yeah, 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 yeah. We are kicking it with Auntie Leah. Yeah, let's get it, let's do it. Come on in. Come on in now. So Auntie Leah can do a thing. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to Kicking It with Auntie Leah. We're going to just let some more people come in. Come in. What's up? Salute, salute, KJ's Army.
It builds us.
Hello, Ramonda.
Still standing.
Hey, Lee Hop. Good to see you, fam. Come on, y'all.
They sending bricks, trying to shake what we built. But we stand on truth.
Want to wait till some other people come in?
13 years deep, and we still don't fold. Case full of questions, stories
Salute,
full
salute.
of hoes. 17 walked in, never walked back.
Hey, hey, Nikki Duncan. Welcome, 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 Jamie West. Y'all listen to the words.
Now we side eye everything they cover.
What's up, Theo? Theo.
Face look wrong, they put him out. But the paperwork clean, yeah, we questioning now.
Thank you guys for coming back to kick it with us tonight.
When the cracks show wide, we gon' zoom.
Everybody share the live, please share the live.
We loud for nothing, we loud cause we see. And pressure make diamonds.
I dropped the link in the comment. Hey, Beth.
We not scared.
Hey, Gary. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here tonight. I'm just gonna wait till some other people come in. Salute, salute, Shell. Everybody drop justice for Kendrick Johnson in the comments, please. Hey, Ratonia. Salute everybody, salute, salute. Please hit the like button as you come in. I'm gonna turn the music down. We're just waiting on some more people to come in. More KJ's Army. That's right, Lee Hop. Justice for Kendrick Johnson. Say his name, everybody. Yes, justice for Kendrick Johnson. That's what it's all about, Kendrick Johnson. We're gonna get into some good stuff tonight. And we ain't scared. Salute, salute, Elizabeth. Hey, hello, Angela. Everybody drop Kendrick Johnson in the comments. All right, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Kicking It with Auntie Leah. Thank you so much for being back in the house with me tonight. We got Young 9 on the live with us, except he is driving. Salute, everybody say shout out to Young 9. We're going to get into some good stuff tonight. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about the wrestler statements. We want to talk about just the way that Brian Bell just flat out lied on TV and there was no consequences for lying. We're going to talk about the just a lot of different things that we have been talking about this week. Even the new sworn affidavit, which is not actually new, it's just new to us, that Leah Griffin actually updated in court that added to her original statement. We're going to get into all of that tonight. And I got the footage, guys. I got the footage. Shout out to God, I got the footage. I got the full footage. That's what they say. It's hours and hours upon hours upon hours, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Like I can be looking at a video and it's just the lunchroom, and the video was 4 hours, but I don't want to take my eyes off of it because I might miss something. You know what I'm saying? I have the video of the actual what I believe is the body discovery, and we'll watch a little bit of that tonight because it's something in that video that we didn't actually see in the beginning because the news didn't show it. It was a young lady that had on all black, and she had on a purse, and she was walking across the gym towards the mat, and then she just disappeared. So yeah, it's a lot to make out. It's a lot to get through. But I'm just thankful that we got something to work with, something a little bit more to work with, right? We got a lot to get through. Hey, Shell, just let me get some shout outs to people. We got Shelly in the building. We have Angela Nelson, Lee Hop, Mary A. Salute, Beth Johnson, salute. Welcome, Vicky Barker, Baker Lawyer, salute. Jeremiah. Hey, I don't think I've ever seen you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Oh, Faithful Theo, Shan Parrish, salute. I'm not sure if I've ever seen your name. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Kimber Share. Hey, Manny. And guys, my panel is an open panel. I dropped the link in the comments if anybody wants to come up and be on the panel with me. That would be great. And J9, he might have to hop off early because he's ready to go into the studio and put down some of that KJ heat for us. Hey, love them all, Murray. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, you guys know we always start out with a video, so let me cue it up, and then we'll jump right into this segment tonight. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let me share the screen. Let's get it started.
A 17-year-old young man walked into school on January 10th, 2013. He never came home. The next morning, inside the old gymnasium at Lowndes High School in Valdosta, Georgia, students would discover something that would change their community forever. Inside the center hole of a rolled gym mat, a body had been found. That body belonged to Kendrick Lamar Johnson. What happened inside that gymnasium has been debated, investigated, examined, and questioned for more than a decade. This documentary examines the evidence, the reports, the autopsies, the timelines, and the questions that still remain surrounding the death of Kendrick Johnson. Because when a young life ends under unusual circumstances, the truth matters. On the morning of January 11, 2013, the search for Kendrick Johnson came to a tragic end inside the old gymnasium at Lowndes High School. According to the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office incident records, law enforcement was dispatched to the old gym around 10:31 to 10:32 that morning in response to a code blue. According to the narrative report written by Sergeant Michael Adams, when officers arrived, they observed students running out of the gym and overheard them saying there was a dead body inside. As he approached the southwest corner of the gym, he detected a mild odor of a corpse. He reported seeing a blue cheerleading mat lying horizontally and rolled up to approximately a 3-foot diameter. In the center of the roll, officers observed 2 feet wearing socks and denim jeans. As they moved closer and examined the mat further, they observed the torso and head of a young male positioned inside the center hole of the mat. His arms were partially covering his face, and the body appeared moderately stiff. But what stood out most to investigators was the condition of Kendrick Johnson's face. According to the report written at the scene, the facial area appeared severely swollen and disfigured. The first autopsy was performed on January 14th, 2013 by Dr. Mary Ann Gaffney Craft of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Her report concluded that no significant traumatic injuries were identified during the examination. She determined that the cause of death was positional asphyxia and the manner of death was accidental. Unsatisfied with the conclusions of the first examination, the Johnson family sought an independent forensic review. A second autopsy would later reach a different interpretation, and that disagreement between medical opinions became one of the reasons the case remained controversial. Because now there were multiple forensic interpretations examining the same death. During her deposition, Dr. Mary Ann Gaffney Craft acknowledged that when a gym mat is rolled and secured, the opening inside the mat does not remain evenly shaped from top to bottom. The internal space can change as the mat compresses deeper into the roll. That means the opening inside the mat may narrow or shift as it descends. This detail matters because the explanation presented was that Kendrick Johnson reached into the mat to retrieve a shoe, lost his balance, and slid headfirst down into the roll. But if the internal space inside the mat changes size throughout its length, the mechanics of how a body could move deeper inside the roll becomes a critical question. Another detail that has been debated involves the shoe itself. According to the investigative narrative, Kendrick Johnson was attempting to retrieve a shoe from inside the mat, but questions have been raised about where that shoe was ultimately located. Because if Kendrick entered the mat in an attempt to retrieve it, logic would suggest the shoe would be located deep inside the mat with him. Yet observers of the case have long debated whether the shoe's location truly aligns with the explanation that Kendrick slid deeper into the mat while reaching for it. Beyond the debate, beyond the reports, and beyond the headlines, there is a family, a mother, a father, siblings, loved ones who lost a son, a brother, and a friend. For them, this story has never been about controversy. It has always been about truth. More than a decade later, the name Kendrick Johnson continues to be spoken by people who believe his story still matters. Because when a young life ends under unusual circumstances, families deserve transparency, communities deserve clarity, and the pursuit of justice should never stop with unanswered questions. The story of Kendrick Johnson is not just about a case file. It is about a young man whose life ended far too soon, and a family that continues to search for answers until every question has been addressed, until every piece of evidence has been examined, and until the truth is fully understood. The name Kendrick Johnson will continue to be spoken because some stories do not end when a case is closed. Sometimes that is when the search for the truth truly begins. But the explanation would later raise questions that investigators, journalists, and members of the public would continue to examine. During her deposition, Dr. Mary Ann Gaffney Craft explained that she did not rely on the autopsy findings alone. She stated that she also considered the investigative information that had been provided to her, including law enforcement reports, witness statements, scene photographs, and the investigative narrative connected to the case. Those investigative materials stated that Kendrick Johnson had been seen on school surveillance cameras entering the gym alone that afternoon. If the medical conclusion relied in part on the investigative narrative, how closely were those underlying details examined? Because other parts of the official record documented conditions that many believe required further explanation. The responding officer who first documented the scene described Kendrick Johnson's facial area as severely swollen and disfigured when the body was discovered. Emergency responders arriving at the gym also noted that rigor mortis had already begun. These early observations would later be compared by many observers to the autopsy conclusion that no significant traumatic injuries were identified during the examination. In forensic investigations, scene observations, medical examinations, and investigative findings are all pieces of the same puzzle. When those pieces align, the story becomes clear. But when questions arise about how those pieces fit together, investigators often look deeper at the evidence in the process used to reach the final conclusion. For Kendrick Johnson's family, those questions have remained part of their search for answers for more than a decade. And for many people examining this case today, those same questions continue to shape the conversation about what really happened inside that gymnasium. For more than a decade, the name Kendrick Lamar Johnson has remained at the center of a case that continues to raise questions. A 17-year-old young man walked into Lowndes High School on January 10, 2013. He never came home. The next morning, his body was discovered inside a rolled gym mat in the old gymnasium. Authorities ruled the death an accident caused by positional asphyxia. But when the records are examined, the case reveals a series of questions that have never fully gone away. Questions about the timeline, questions about the scene, questions about the reports that describe Kendrick Johnson's face as swollen and disfigured when his body was first discovered. Questions about the mechanics of a rolled gym mat and how a body could move deeper inside it. And questions about how the investigative narrative helped shape the final medical conclusion. During her deposition, Dr. Marianne Gaffney Craft explained that the determination of Kendrick Johnson's cause of death was not based solely on the autopsy itself. She also reviewed investigative reports, scene photographs, witness statements, and the narrative provided by law enforcement. Those materials stated that Kendrick Johnson had been seen on school surveillance video entering the gym alone. But when the evidence surrounding a case is examined years later, investigators often ask a simple but critical question. Did every piece of the puzzle truly align? Because in death investigations, the body, the scene, and the evidence should all tell the same story. When they do, the truth becomes clear. But when questions remain, families continue searching for answers. For Kendrick Johnson's parents, siblings, and loved ones, this case has never simply been about a report or a ruling. It has always been about their son, a young man with a future, a brother, a friend, a life that ended far too soon. More than a decade later, the search for clarity continues, because the pursuit of truth does not end when a case file is closed. Sometimes that is when the real questions begin. And for those who believe that every life deserves to be fully accounted for, the name Kendrick Johnson will continue to be spoken. Not out of controversy, but out of a belief that truth matters and that every family deserves answers. Justice for Kendrick Johnson. KJ's army will not stop until justice is served.
Shall not ever stop. Salute, salute, salute. And that is the fact right there. We will not ever stop until justice is served. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do. It just doesn't matter. It's been long enough. And we're just over the lies. We're over the lies. We over people gaslighting us, deflecting and doing all this other stuff instead of arresting the unalivers of Kendrick Johnson. So before we get past this video, I just wanted to remind you that what Dr. Gaffney said in her sworn affidavit, she said the hole was so small that his Adidas, when he threw the shoe into the mat, the hole wasn't even big enough to allow the shoe to fall all the way down to the ground. She said that Kendrick Johnson consciously made a decision to get on top of those mats, begin to reach down, and as he reached down, because his shoulder stretched 19 inches wide and the mat's opening was 14 inches, give or take a little, that his shoulders expanded the mat, which made the Adidas shoe slip down to the ground. So he consciously continued to wiggle his body upside down into the mat until he got stuck. Think about that. Like, Y'all needed to have a meeting, a board meeting, a cover up meeting, or something, because that narrative right there was not going to ever make sense, not even to a family of monkeys. And y'all know that's how they look at us anyway. Allegedly, guys, allegedly. I'm just saying, she literally wants us to believe, and everybody else that's involved in this, that's screaming accident, 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 that the shoe, the hole in the mat, was too small to even allow the shoe to fall down by itself. But he's gonna attempt to wiggle himself down in the mat. Come on. It's not logical. That's why it doesn't seem logical. It's not logical. And it's a flat out lie. And they know it's a lie. They know it's a lie. So every time I think of that, Jay, what you think, J9? I forgot I had you on mute. What do you think? The mat hole wasn't even. You have a bad echo. Well, okay. So he's driving. So, yeah, all of this doesn't make sense. All of it doesn't make sense. Not possible whatsoever. Not possible whatsoever. He had on gym shoes. Those gym shoes were not that important for him to. I mean, just think about it. He had on gym shoes walking into the gym. He had on the white, gray, and orange ones. Those shoes were not more important than the danger that was set before him. Right, all of the injuries, guys. And at this point, I have just came across so much stuff that I don't believe the paperwork at all. I mean, let's talk about okay, Matt Moody. Let's pull it up. Let's pull up the statement. I'll just put it up on Facebook. Hold on a second. Because I got a problem with this. You there, nephew?
That's it.
Yes. You have like a very bad echo.
Hello.
Okay. I'm gonna pull it up on Facebook and hope it don't show everybody in my thing. And let's just go to this statement from Matt Moody. I know a lot of people may not understand what I was saying when I posted this, so I'm gonna try to break it down. What caught my attention about Matt Moody's statement, not that they interviewed him twice, is because I don't believe they interviewed him at all.
How's sound now, Auntie?
You sound good to me.
Okay.
All right. And here's why I say that. This is why I say I don't think that I interviewed him at all. I mean, that they interviewed him at all. Because, one, Matt Moody never said, number one, that I've already been interviewed before. So why are you interviewing me again? Does that make sense? So he was interviewed on, it looks like this was dated, let me see, which one was dated first? 12/16/2014. And this was dated 12/12/2014. And it was completed by Robert Bolton. He basically says, I, Robert Bolton, interviewed Matthew Christopher Moody in reference to the Lowndes High School wrestling team attending the state tournament in Macon, Georgia in January 2013. Matt was supposed to say he was a member of the wrestling team and qualified for the state tournament in January 2013. Who starts it off like that? I qualified, right? Moody stated that he and other wrestlers checked out of class at approximately 11:20 a.m. Same as that time that's on the other statement. Matt Moody stated he did not eat lunch but would have eaten first block lunch. Moody stated that the bus departed the school between 11:40 a.m. and 12 o'clock p.m. Moody stated all wrestlers had to ride the bus. Moody stated he sat behind Brandon Bell. on the bus riding to Macon, Georgia. Moody stated he and Bell were very close friends and would room together on overnight trips. A copy of Moody's statement is part of this case file. I didn't have a copy of that. I didn't see a copy of Moody's statements. I do see copies of some of the other wrestler statements that are handwritten, but not his. And then what? That was on the 12th of December. And then what? 4 days later, same year, he was interviewed by Mr. Burke. Okay, he made contact with Matt Moody, and he essentially said the same thing. Except he added a little bit more detail. Let me see. Actually, no. No. No, he didn't. It's the same exact statement. So, did you really talk to Matt Moody? Because what I didn't find that Matt Moody said was, well, I've already been interviewed. And I'm not 100%. Well, I crossed out his date of birth here. I'm trying to figure out on December the 14th, was Matt Moody a minor? I don't know if he was. I don't think he was. I think he was a senior, but let me double check before I just say that. I can pull up the original document and get his date of birth, because that would have been another question. Where was his parents? Because all throughout you're talking to minors, all throughout the other witness statements, but you didn't ask for the parent of Matt Moody. Well, guess what? His date of birth is not a date of birth. Wow.
Hmm.
Let me look at another one. Okay. That was 2014. That was in December. Okay. Matt Moody was 18 years old. So that didn't apply. However, you have two statements 4 days apart by two different detectives that basically said the same thing. Did you or did you not allegedly copy the first statement into another statement because you forgot that you already had made the first statement, allegedly, guys, and put it in the case file? Because that's what it looks like to me. And because it looks like that to me, that discredits everybody else's statement that also sounds exactly like this statement, in my opinion. What do you think, nephew?
Yeah.
Diabolical, right?
Yeah. I
What do you
said it earlier.
What do you guys think in the comments? I'm gonna pull up another wrestler statement while you guys are asking your questions. What you got? Let me see. Can you read? You can't. You still driving, aren't you? All
Yeah,
right. Let me see if. All right. Let me see. I'll never believe that. Any plastic cleans the skin. His shoulders would allow that baby to fit. Wouldn't allow that baby to fit. That's the best lie they could come up with at such short notice is what I think you're wanting to say. Under pressure. They stupid as hell. I concur. I concur. They're all liars. I concur. They're all going down in Jesus' name. I concur. I sincerely would like to know, how do these people sleep at night? I concur. Allegedly, one of the Bell brothers allegedly is on medication. That's what I heard. But again,
I bet they would be friends.
mm-hmm. Yep. That's what I heard. But you know what? It's a lot of things that I'm learning that you just can't believe. I mean, you just can't take at face value. A lot of things that you hear, even a lot of things that you see, when it comes down to this case, that you just cannot believe it at face value at all. I think that they're playing games. I think that they're intentionally putting out misinformation to throw us off. That I think that they intentionally do that to try to lead us down the wrong path. It's a lot of things I'm starting to look at like, yeah, this is too easy. That's too good to be true.
Right,
I don't know if
right.
I believe that, because y'all been saying this for such and such time, you know what I mean? But Hold on a second. I'm looking for another wrestler statement. But nothing ever comes of what you're saying. Is that really the truth? Have you guys ever thought about that? Them putting out like tweets, making fake accounts. Let me stop sharing this one and then upload another one. Have you guys ever thought about that? I just, I don't know. I don't know. Are you just feeding the public bullcrap so we can go round and round in circles? Are you really hiding the real truth? Is my question. All right, so now we're gonna pull up Clayton Griffith's statement. All right, let me make it bigger. Drop your questions in the comments. So this statement was given by Clayton Griffiths. You guys know who Clayton Griffiths is. Clayton Griffiths is allegedly the one that's walking in the gym with no shoes, no socks on, with Brandon Bell, allegedly. All right. Wednesday, November the 26th, 2014. Lieutenant Jones, that's Stride Jones. Why did you decide to interview him, Stride Jones? Anyway, we're not going to go there. We're going to read it. You didn't interview nobody else. Anyway, Lieutenant Jones noted he contacted April Allen, the mother of Clayton Griffiths, and requested an opportunity to meet in person with him regarding this investigation. April Allen agreed to come to the office of the Criminal Investigation Division along with Clayton Griffiths. During this meeting, Clayton Griffiths confirmed he was a member of the wrestling team in January 2013 and attended the state tournament in Macon, Georgia. Clayton Griffiths recalled the athletes being released from class at the end of second block, although he had three. Him and three others, is what I believe it says, left class earlier in order to wrestle and cut weight. According to Clayton Griffiths, Brandon Bell, Davis Ison, Carl Jackson, the cousin of Kendrick Johnson, Robert Powell, and himself were released from class around 9:50 a.m. What? You, Clayton, Brandon Bell, Carl Jackson, Robert Powell, and Brandon Bell were released from class early to go wrestle and do what? Wait, or something like that? No, this is a cover up. But anyway, allegedly, he was released from class around 9:50 and went to the wrestling room where they wrestled to work out and assured that each person would not exceed their specified weight class. This group took in the wrestling room, which is located near the gym. Clayton Griffiths continued by stating he did not eat lunch, but some of the wrestlers went to the cafeteria to purchase snacks for the trip. And while away, Clayton Griffin recalled the team leaving the school around 12:15 or 12:30. Okay, so Matt Moody said 11:40, in between 11:40 or 12. Clayton Griffin says 12:15 or 12:30. Not everyone on the wrestling team made the trip to Macon. Only those who were rescheduled, well, only those I can barely see, guys. Please try to follow along. I'm trying my best. It's so small on my screen because I'm in StreamYard. Clayton Griffiths recalled the team leaving the school around 12:15 or 12:30. Not everyone on the wrestling team made the trip to Macon. Only those who were scheduled to wrestle, and a few replacements in case of injury or disqualifications. Clayton Griffiths did specifically recall Brandon Bell being on the bus and making the trip. These are deliberate alibis to cover Brandon Bell. Instead of you're just going in and getting a statement, you're creating deliberate verbiage to cover and create an alibi for Brandon Bell. Do you guys see that? Now, see, there's no timestamps of the footage that they're walking in and out of the hallway when they're crossing back and forth running. Mr. Griffiths allegedly has socks on one moment, allegedly doesn't have socks the next moment, allegedly has on black drawers and then comes back and allegedly has on black shorts with white stripes. All at the same time, he has on a black hoodie in a red long sleeve jacket. He's hot and cold at the same time, like he is 55 years old going through menopause. Okay, with no timestamps. These statements are created to cover each layer.
Uh-huh.
Each layer. And Carl Jackson, now we know why you allegedly lawyered up and you wouldn't talk. Because I kind of believe that you were there. You seen it. You were with them. You were there. And they made sure to name you as there. To implement you. Which made you shut up. Now there's another student that's going to say the same exact thing. Let me pull it up. That's Clayton Griffiths. Alright guys. Diabolical. You really think that we're that crazy that we can't see that you are allegedly, I have to say it, creating each step to cover that hallway footage right now? Because I want to ask you if you got, I also want to go back and ask you if the other kids were let out early, for early lunch, why did you have to stop? Well, you don't even know. Why did you have to stop about an hour later for them to eat lunch? One of them said, oh, I think we went to Wendy's. Another said, well, I think it was Chick-fil-A and McDonald's. That's where we stopped. I think y'all lying, allegedly. That's what I think. That's what Auntie think. What y'all think? Y'all got any questions before I go to the next statement? Let me see. Do we got any questions? I know my co-host is busy, guys. All right, let's see.
Hey,
and it's
you gotta let them know what I'm about to go through.
Right, I know. He's about to go put that heat down on. He got a new KJ song. He ready to put the heat down on for us. Hopefully we'll have it by the next time we go live, y'all. I'm excited to hear it. But yes, Quanda, yes, Carl Jackson. KJ's cousin, blood cousin. Carl Jackson, that Carl Jackson. And they made sure they put your behind in the narrative report. Just so the cover-up can allegedly state just like this. It's another one. Let me bring it up. That was Clayton Griffiths. Carl Jackson don't have a statement in here. I repeat, Carl Jackson does not have a wrestling statement. I repeat, Carl Jackson does not have a wrestler statement in the file. All right? So, I think the next one is David Ison. Hold on a second, guys. Y'all know Auntie be trying. Uh-oh. But sometimes I click the wrong button. I ain't even gonna lie. Not gonna hold you at all. My computer. David Ison. Thank you so much for your patience. Narrative. Oh, yeah, I clicked the wrong button. I'm sorry, y'all. Image. David Ice. Is it? Nope, not that one. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out which one it was. Okay, it must be Robert. Yep. All right, so let's see. Can you see this one? Robert Powell Jr. Robert Powell Jr., guys. I'm going to blow it up and I'm trying to read it to the best of my ability. I think I can. I thought it was a way that I can make it big here, but I'm not sure. All right. Wednesday, 26, 2014. I think that was the same date that Clayton Griffin gave his statement, but I don't remember, okay? Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Robert Powell, whose name was provided as being a member of the 2012 to 2013 wrestling team, was contacted via telephone. Robert Powell relayed he now lives in the metro Atlanta area and agreed to be interviewed over the telephone. Stephanie Powell, Robert Powell's mother, was present with her son and listened to the conversation. Oh my goodness. Robert Powell confirmed his participation with the wrestling team and attended the tournament in Macon. Robert Powell recalled he and others, including Brandon Bell, Clayton Griffiths, and Jackson, were released from their classes early than others so they could go to the wrestling room, wrestle, and cut weight. Why is that the same exact term? I don't even know what cut weight is, but you gonna same. I mean, it's like the same wording verbatim.
Right.
Verbatim. You couldn't even flip it around to say cut weight and wrestle. You know,
They try to use the same.
you
I'm talking
couldn't.
exact same thing.
Which is why I
Same
don't.
thing.
Yes, I'm
Leave none
sorry.
of it.
I'm so sorry. But this is why I don't believe that Matt Moody's double statement it's true either. Because it looks like to me you copied and pasted, put another detective's name on it, stuck it in there. I don't believe none of these statements is what I'm saying. None of them. This is the same exact statement. Robert Powell recalled he and others, including Brandon Bell, Clayton Griffiths, and Carl Jackson, were released from their classes earlier than others so they can go to the wrestling room and wrestle and cut weight. Robert Powell described the wrestling room as being located near the old gym area. Yeah, we know. According to Robert Powell, the team left the school around lunchtime, although he could not recall an exact time. Not all of the wrestlers made this trip. Same thing. Not all of they wanted to make sure because you know what they was covering in that. The fact that the color guard said that the wrestlers were in the gym at 5:30 p.m. on January the 10th. So that statement covers that because now they can say, well, not all of the wrestlers went. I'm just saying. This statement covers every. Anyway, let me get back to it. The team left the school around lunchtime, although he could not recall the exact time. Not all of the wrestlers made this trip, but he specifically recalled Brandon Bell as being on the bus with the others on the team. Coach Graybell requires all athletes to ride the bus to events, although they may check out after the event and ride home with their parents. Robert Powell recalled the bus stopping for a break during their trip, but he could not recall the location. Given the fact that this conversation took place via telephone, no written statement
I bet.
was obtained. There's no written statement for him either. There's no written statement for Clayton Griffiths. I didn't see one. None from Carl. No statement at all from Carl Jackson. Of course, the Bells, they gloried up and just have never gave a statement about anything except the lies that they told on the news. And I can say that Brian, for a fact, it's not alleged, told a lie because we saw his schedule, right? Today.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Brandon still allegedly because I don't have nothing to contradict it yet. They bound to have made a mistake somewhere, right? Let's talk about this real quick before we go to more statements. They all really sound the same. You got some kids who have, and let me take this down because I forgot to, yeah, I ain't gonna say bring it to nobody's attention, but it's some kids, parents, and shut the request down altogether. No, I'm not allowing my kid to talk. We've moved away. There's so many kids that withdrew that were on the wrestling team and moved to different states, withdrew their kids from the school. Everything, guys. Every single thing. Let's go. Let's see if we got some more questions in here. Well, I believe that blood cousin lowered up, and it's my opinion. It's my channel. It's my opinion. This is not facts. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. That he saw it. You know, we all believe allegedly one of the I'm not going to say a name, the recording. I'm going to recall your attention to the recording. The older is the one saying, never should have done that. Kendra didn't deserve that. They're going to catch me anyways, allegedly.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Crazy work. So, in my opinion, a lot of them were probably silenced, um, shut up, paid. Some may have been paid. Who knows? Allegedly, all this alleged, like I said. But we know. If you know, you know.
Hmm.
If you know, you know. So basically, all of the statements kind of read like this. Let me see if, who else's may stick out. I don't have a statement from David Eisen. I don't have his statement. I don't have Carl Jackson's statement. Of course, Brandon doesn't have a statement. But for the most part, I mean, you got, like I said, you got some other statements saying this, people saying the same thing. But what I really don't understand is the lunch part don't, but they had to make up something to cover. I don't know what they was trying to cover, honestly. The stop, I don't know. I don't know, honestly, because you let the kids out early to go to lunch, but about an hour into the trip, you stopped again. Does that make sense? And then most of them say, well, no, I didn't eat because I didn't want to mess up my weight. All of this doesn't make sense. Excuse me. And then, what else? What? Excuse me. What else seems so crazy is that it's these names that keep popping up and they're in close circles. Y'all remember, and shout out to one of KJ's family. Y'all remember Logan Strider, right? The one that they deemed that was her blood on the wall in the gym, right?
Hmm.
Did y'all also know that she was in first block with Kendrick and Brian? Did y'all know that? Why is it that everybody that has, it's a school with 3,000 people in it. It's a school with 3,000 people in it, but these names keep showing up. So, is it a coincidence that Logan Strider? Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Share a screen. Let me go back to my little Facebook. I mean, is it a coincidence? I don't think so. That she was in the same first block as Kendrick and Brian Bell. Well, lo and behold, can you guys see it? Let me see. Nope. Let me. I need to take this down, and you should be able to see this one. Okay. Y'all see her name right there, guys? Logan Strider. Right here. Logan E. Strider. She's second from the bottom. Second. That's the same lady who Stride Jones said that her blood was the blood that was on the wall, and that, no, wait a minute, not on the wall. I was getting confused. Let me correct that right now before they lie. Paper towel in the girls' bathroom. Thank you. I corrected it. So what? Everybody makes mistakes. Paper towel in the trash can. That's not blood on the wall. We don't know whose blood that was. They never addressed that. I'm talking about paper towel in the bathroom, girls' bathroom, that still look wet. You guys remember that picture? Let me pull it up. That's Logan Strider. Let me pull it up. Not blood on the wall. Yep, they definitely did not try to figure out whose blood that was. And let me pull up blood on the wall. and image file and picture. Buddy. This one right here. All right, her. That blood belongs to her. But she was in Kendrick Johnson's first class along with. If you don't get out of here, who has? Okay, listen, Ryan Bell, you was about to get really. You still suspect to me, but I don't know. I don't like that name. It's like a mixture of Ryan Hall and the Bell. So forgive me if I got it wrong, but yeah. Okay. Anyway, Logan Strider, her. This is her blood, but she was also in the first block with Kendrick Johnson and and Bell. And then we saw it's just a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on. Let me see. Anybody have questions real quick? Most sports don't stop before the event. I'm not sure I understand it. Most sports don't stop before the event. Come out wherever you are, Carl. Yes. All this evidence is so clear this was a cover up. Again, let me repeat this before they get on Facebook and lie through their teeth. Okay, paper towel, not blood on the wall. They never tried to find out whose blood it was on the wall. They didn't want either, they didn't want it to go through CODIS. They didn't want it to be put in CODIS. And why? Why? Well, we know why. That we're not trying to find whoever we know, but you know what I'm trying to say. All right, it's Kendrick and Brian was in first block together, but what was the tweets all about between Kendrick and Brian? This murder and it's all cover up guilty. So what tweets are you referring to between Kendrick and Brian? I'm not sure that I'm aware of those tweets. All these kids mostly went to class with Kendrick and was plotting against him. I agree. I believe that same wordings in the coach and the bus driver statements as well. Now, what's interesting about the bus driver is that he can't recall nothing else, but what he recalled was the very thing that he needed to make stick out, which is weigh-in time. If you can tell me what time to weigh in, it'll jog my memory. And did you guys? I have his handwritten statement, right? I don't know if this was supposed to give him more credibility, so he thought or what, but I'll just bring it up. I'll bring it up. Hold on a second. Image file. I don't know the purpose of this. Of why he signed it this way. Maybe in his mind he thought that if I put Reverend Dr. William Smith or whatever in front of it, is that what it looks like it says to you? That it would be more believable? Is that what it looks like it says to you? Reverend Dr. William White, I believe that's his name. I said Smith, guys, but it's White. Is that the reason why he put that there? Because I can't understand why he decided to put Reverend Doctor. Is that what it says? Because it is in cursive, and I could be reading it wrong, but it looks like it says Reverend Dr. William P. White or something like that to me. So I guess that's supposed to make him more credible to the public or to people or the community. It's called gaslighting, right? I'm telling the truth. I'm honest. I'm a Reverend and a Dr. William P. White. Come on, y'all. Stop with the shenanigans, okay? No, you're not, allegedly, because you know good and well you couldn't remember the time you left. Because you even told the news, that you couldn't remember the time that you left, and it wasn't until the officials at Lowndes County Sheriff Department jogged your memory. So your signature doesn't mean anything. if you are helping assist the alleged cover-up and unaliving of a 17-year-old kid. Period. Yes, I agree. Boss Lady Sparks, I agree. What do you think, nephew? What you got to say, sir? I'm just talking and stuttering all over the place. Y'all know Auntie got a speech impediment. Y'all know I got one. I'm not even gonna lie. You got anything you want to say?
Not really.
Well,
I'm
I
about, I'm
need to
about to have
see.
to. I'm about to have to get off in a minute though.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to see if I can load, because I want you guys to look at something. And
I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow, you guys.
all right,
I
salute.
got it.
See you later.
I got a special gift for everybody.
Okay, all right, see you
All right.
later.
All right.
We're
Love y'all. Good
gonna
night.
good night, and we're gonna remove that. I don't want to add that. I don't want to add that. I'm trying to see if I can cue some of this footage. The files are so large, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I might have to cut it down. And I haven't had time to do that yet. Let me see. Now, wait a minute. Maybe I didn't name it that. It's probably too big and it won't let me do it. This sucks. Hold on a second. And it's up right here too. Okay, so it looks like I'm not going to be able to, because the file is too big. So it doesn't look like that I'm going to be able, hold on a second, to cue it up in here. It's right here. Because the StreamYard is, it doesn't support it. I'm still trying. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to try to cut it down. I am so sorry. Please forgive me for not being able to show you this. So I will make some shots of it. I'll try to work on it real quick. Let me just queue up another video for you guys. It's very short, so hopefully I can get it done in 3 minutes. Just give me a moment. I have been like just scrambling around. Does anybody have any questions? Please look in the drop it in the comments. I really wasn't really ready to do a lot, but I promised you guys I would. So I had to do it today. If it wasn't nothing for a short period, definitely wasn't ready because I had so much stuff I still had to comb through. Just give me a moment and share screen. Let's just
Patterns don't lie. Every record tells a story. And when a pattern suddenly changes, right when it matters most, you don't ignore it. You stop and you ask why. The attendance records for Joshua Ryan Hall show a consistent pattern of issues. On January 7th, there was an issue. On January 8th, another issue. Then after January 10th, the pattern continues again. January 14th, January 15th, with multiple issues, January 16th, January 22nd, January 23rd. Unexcused absences, tardies, a repeated pattern of being unaccounted for during the school day. That is what the records show. But then something changes. 3 consecutive days stand out. January 9th, January 10th, January 11th. No absences, no tardies, no flags. A student with a documented pattern of attendance issues suddenly has 3 straight days of perfect attendance. And those 3 days are not just any days. January 10th is the day Kendrick Johnson disappeared. January 11th is the day his body was discovered. Now add this. A witness, Aaliyah Griffin, stated under oath that she was with Rick Bell and Karen Bell. She described them preparing Ryan Hall for court, and she stated that they handed him a folder. Inside that folder were documents, including his attendance records, so he would have them when he went to court. Now understand this clearly. Rick Bell and Karen Bell were not neutral parties. They were named defendants in legal proceedings connected to this case. So now we have to ask real questions. Who provided those attendance records? Were they obtained through official school channels? Were they complete or selectively presented? Were they independently verified? We need the truth. And why were individuals connected to the case involved in handling those records at all? Because attendance records tell you what was written down. They do not tell you where someone actually was. A pattern of absence, 3 days of perfection, and a folder placed into a student's hands by people already tied to the case. That's not something you overlook. That's something you investigate. Lowndes High School, we need answers. Rick and Karen Bell, we need answers. Ryan Hall, we need answers, and it appears you may have them. Justice for Kendrick Johnson is coming. KJ's army will not stop until justice is served.
All excuse me, guys. Okay. All right. So, yeah, even that in itself is suspect. What do you think? I mean, Ryan Hall, he had, and let me see if I can pull up his attendance record so you can look. I think I posted them, but so you can just look at all the inconsistencies that he has in his schedule. It's crazy. It really is. He's late all the time, missing school, missing periods. But starting the day before Kendrick went missing, 3 days straight, no attendance issues at all. And then the very next Monday, all three of them, Brandon, Brian, and Ryan Hall, have were unexcused, all out of school unexcused. Does that even make sense? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. All of these issues, and this is just one page. He has 3 pages that goes with his, his attendance record. It's everywhere. This is even after Kendrick. I mean, he went right back into regular, routine. Missing class, unexcused absence, skipping class. Just crazy work. This is after. So those 3 days that mattered, all of a sudden your attendance is wiped clean. And don't forget who gave him his attendance records. According to Aaliyah Griffiths, both her sworn deposition and her sworn testimony, I believe she mentioned it again. Yep. And what I posted today, Karen Bell and Rick Bell handed Ryan Hall, not their kid, somebody else's kid, but handed Ryan Hall his attendance records, right? Not his mother giving him his attendance records, but Karen Bell and Rick Bell. And then we also learned something new in her sworn testimony tonight. She went in and modified and added that she was being harassed and stalked by the father of Ryan Hall. But she also said something very interesting. She said that Ryan Hall would get so frustrated because his own family members would ask him if he had anything to do with Kendrick's unaliving. They're asking for a reason, aren't they? Don't you think? They're asking because something in the back of their mind makes them believe that he did, allegedly. None of this makes sense, but all of it makes sense. When I say none of this makes sense, it's the alleged cover-up that doesn't make sense. But all of what we're finding makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. All of them out. I want to know if that's the day that a certain recording was recorded, allegedly. You know, they couldn't allow one ticking time bomb to get back to school right away, could they? Because he was leaking it all over the place. What went on allegedly? I mean, that's what you hear. You know, you have students saying that he would get drunk around bonfires and just tell the whole story. You got Ryan Domek Hernandez. His statement that was recanted after they threw him in jail in the hole with no bond. What else did we learn? What else did we learn this week? Let me go back to my Facebook page, y'all. We learned something. Oh, I wanted you to look at their schedules, because their schedules are also crazy, because they say that they didn't see Kendrick or whatever. We know Brian Bell saw Kendrick, but what I found out is Brian Bell, I believe, and Ryan Hall, their blocks crossed, meaning as they were leaving, Kendrick was going. That's how the schedule was lined up. Now, I cannot say that as a fact because I have not studied it long enough, but this is what I've saw. Just by first or second glance, I have to look at things more than once. But let's see. This schedule, class schedule. Okay, one class schedule. So this is Ryan Hall's. I didn't even open it up through StreamYard. Lord have mercy. Let me get this out of here. And it is a image. Let's pull up the schedule. Ryan Hall. Class schedule. Is this the class schedule? No. Yes. Let me hold on a second. Oh, here it is. I already had it on the screen. Lord help me. But anyway, I just can't see. But his third block was weight training, right? Okay, and that's in the field house. Field house, not old gym. Field house. Kendrick was headed to weight training. So Ryan Hall, let's write this down. Hold on. Field house. His fourth block was weight training. Wait a minute. His third block was weight training. He was and then Kendrick was going to third block. So they said, well, wait a minute. Hold on. That's why I don't like to be unprepared. I do not like it. I get my words all twisted up. Ryan Hall. All students allegedly were going to fourth block. Jesus. So Ryan Hall's fourth block. No. See, never mind. Wait a minute. I got to slow down. See, that's why I like to be prepared. I'm not. Ryan Hall was in third block weight training. Okay, now let's pull up Kendrick's. I just hate this. I really do. because I can't have everything in front of me at the same freaking time. It pisses me off. I gotta have all my screens. Now let's look at Kendrick Johnson's schedule. Yes, it is. And I'll post about this tomorrow. So Kendrick's was going to weight training in the field house. Ryan Hall was leaving weight training in the field house. That's what I was trying to say. Jesus. So I'll prove to you that Kendrick was going to weight training. It's probably even easier if I just go to my darn Facebook post and point it out to you, but because I think I'm just doing too much. But anyway, I'll try this. Please bear with me. I am not used to freeforming. I'm used to doing videos. And now I keep hitting the wrong button. Image file. Thank you. Okay, so Kendrick was going to his fourth block, and now let me put it up there. Where is it at? Do I have to remove stuff? Remove. Oh my God, this is just way too much. Remove, so I can't add it. Okay, here we are. So yes, his fourth block was advanced weight training in the field house. Y'all see that? I know, Kathy. I'm just not used to doing all of this all at once. I'm a thinker and I like to put together a presentation instead of jumping from this document to that document. But Kendrick was going to weight training and Ryan Hall was leaving weight training in the field house is what I'm trying to get across. And the same thing, I believe, for Brian Bell. So let me pull up his image file. Brian Bell. Schedule. All right, so his fourth block, he was leaving here. He was leaving right here. He was also leaving advanced weight training in the field house while Kendrick was going to weight training. That's all I was trying to get across. And my tongue got all tied up and everything. Thoughts got all twisted. So forgive me for that. But their paths crossed. As Kendrick was going to his weight class, they were leaving weight class. So now we got to figure out, where could it have happened in between? Could it have been in the gym where all those kids were? Or perhaps it could have been in the locker room that was, I believe, is by the weight training class. They're crossing. What do you guys think? This is what I'm asking you guys to chime in. Because we know that we also heard that they hid him in a locker in the weight room, allegedly. Remember that? You know what, Theo? I don't know. For some reason, they didn't focus. That's a good question. They didn't focus on verifying if Ryan went to fourth block. Ryan didn't even show up in the first part of the FBI file, if I'm not mistaken. I don't believe that they spoke to Ryan's teacher. And then, that's a good question. Let me see what I can find out. Did he make it to fourth block? Well, you know what? We can't even believe the paperwork because he had perfect attendance for those 3 days. All of them did, remember? No, a source said that the lockers were in the weight room. And multiple people said it happened in the weight room. Field house. No, I don't have a picture. I don't want to guess at the field house. I mean, we can pull it up, but because I don't know for a fact, I'm not going to say it. Not right now. I'm gonna write it down. Let us all find a photo of the field house. They didn't give us pictures, no photos of the weight room or the locker room. And a lot of people say that's where it happened. And that could be the reason why those kids were in that gym that we saw when he walked in. Didn't see nothing. Okay, so Kendrick's weight class was supposed to start at, hold on. It don't even have a start date. What kind of schedule don't let you know the time that you're supposed to be there? It doesn't have times. It doesn't have times on here. Okay, so let's take a look. So this is Brian Bell's. His weight training teacher is Terry. Kendrick's weight training teacher was Kip Burdett. And Brian's weight training teacher was Terry Quinn. And what was Ryan Hall's? What was his teacher? Hold on. Ryan Hall's weight training teacher was Wilson Davis. So they all had different teachers, but they were all, in the field house. They crossed paths. I don't care what they say. But we don't got no timestamps on this footage either. Not even the one that I have. So, but I'll try to see what we can find out and what we can do. The field house, what other questions do you have? All three of them had different teachers. But all the weight training class were, in the field house. So that is all this coincidental, and things going on. Brian lying, talking about he hadn't seen Kendrick that day, knowing that they have first block together, knowing that he pushed him in the lunchroom allegedly, and now we're seeing that they're crossing classes. Ryan Hall and Brian Bell are coming out of the field house and Kendrick's going in. But they want us to believe that Ryan Bell was on the other side of the campus. 3 different teachers. What happened? All I know is in my opinion, in my belief, and allegedly that for some reason, I don't think that it happened in the gym. It happened in the weight room, I believe. I don't know. This is just us having a conversation. What do you all think? I cannot state for a fact, and I cannot say that they're guilty because it has not been proven in a court of law. We're just having a conversation. Let's see. Letha, you said, and he waited in that weight room for Kendrick to enter with the other killers, in my opinion. I believe that. Allegedly, I believe that. Because you remember his teacher, the 4th block teacher, even though his attendance record doesn't show he had a tardy, she said she couldn't recall. That's what they say when they don't want to lie or implicate themselves in something. They'll say, I don't recall. Right? I don't know if he was late or not. I don't recall. That's a cop-out. Almost like pleading the fifth. Somebody's lying, all of them. No, I don't have pictures of it. Yep. You said that you think it's by the stadium. Could be, but I don't want to speculate because I don't know for a fact. That's something that we can all verify together. We can all work on that. I believe that, Miss Letha. I do, babe. Absolutely. It explains it. Because why would weights be in the gym? They didn't even investigate that. They had to take the murder weapon out of where it really happened and put it off to the side somewhere and had it under a volleyball net. So just in case that room gets searched, that the murder weapon allegedly was far away. None of this makes sense, but all of it. All I know is justice is coming. That's all I know. And guys, I have held you guys. I know it hasn't been quite 2 hours, but it's 9:34 p.m. I started late. I'm going to try to work on some of this footage tonight to see if I can cut it down so I can, get some so we can watch it together. I know we still got photos, but let's start on time tomorrow so we can get through more. But before I go, let's get through some questions. So they made sure it happened where there were no cameras. Yeah. Interesting. There would be no cameras in the weight room, I don't think. I don't know for sure. I heard several rumors about that weight room. Oh, actually, they said there were no cameras in there. They actually said that is, in fact, the place where students and teachers would go in, So, no, you're right. There's no cameras in there. Several people told me that. Several people told me that. Thank you so much, Barbara J. Thank you to everybody who has blessed the channel with a super chat tonight or a super sticker. I appreciate y'all for doing that. I love y'all for doing that because I know that you don't have to do it. So thank you so much. And I'll try to shout out everybody when I go back to look at it. But yes, it's several people that have said that in that weight room, there were no cameras. And that's exactly, you said it is cameras? Because I have several people that say there isn't a camera. I don't believe everybody these days. You say it's cameras in the weight room? Is that what you're saying, Kathy Lynn? Nico believes he was hurt in the gym. And that's plausible too. Yes, ma'am. All of it is. All of it is. Let me see. Jeff said it had to happen in the weight room because think about it. How would Brian hit Kendrick with a weight? But I heard that Kendrick didn't show up to his 4th block class, not unless they lying like they always do since the beginning of this murder cover-up. Remember when I said, be slow to believe. I mean, just anything. You know what I mean? Just be slow to believe it. Anything that you see and hear that you didn't actually see and hear from yourself, they are slick with the misinformation. They're slick with trying to direct, the story where they want it to go to where it'll sound absolutely ridiculously stupid. They're out here trying to steer the narrative. Be very mindful who you allow in your inbox. Don't just flat out just believe everything for facts. Something's going to break, something's going to shake is already doing. That's why they windmilled in the comments. But I'm not going to say anything for facts because I don't know exactly where. We're all just trying to make sense of it. That makes a lot of sense. Zasia Marshall, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you got to really think about it. We have no footage, no photos of the area. Why? Why? It actually never has actually been brought up in the real conversation of the investigation, the botched investigation. Was there a reason? Sometimes we just gotta think smarter. All right, guys. Why are you laughing? Who you laughing at? Me? What I do? Cameras don't matter because they edited them anyway. True. True. I agree with that as well. Of course. It could have happened anywhere the student had privacy. Absolutely. This is us trying to, Yep. That's exactly what several people told me. There was no cameras in that weight room or locker room. And that's where a lot of students and teachers went and did what they did. But again, none of us know for facts because just like Nico said, there's no footage. It was tampered with. But some's gonna break, some's gonna shake. And like I said, we're just having a conversation. I can't state for a fact that's where it was. Nobody, unless you're gonna come forward as a true witness and tell the truth. Yet. Oh, okay. Let me see. Can you get a floor plan? I tried to get the floor plan from the county. I had to email them and they never emailed me back. They must know my name. Who knows? Okay, so Kathy, she was a student there and she said that she didn't recall cameras in the weight room. But that was in 04 and 06. It was out by the stadium. I do believe that cameras were on the outside of the entry. That I do believe. But then it was cameras in the hallways because that's where Brandon and them was walking in. By the old gym, they was going back and forth. We could see the hallway by the weight room, but I'm talking about inside the actual room. And then you have to think about why they going back and forth. Yeah, that's something we're gonna have to pounder on, isn't it, guys? Yep. Definitely, whatever footage was available, they definitely edited them, but they were sloppy in reason why there is footage showing Brian and Kendrick cross paths, although Brian lied on national television and they said they didn't. Absolutely. Who cleaned up the aftermath? We see Brandon Bell, we see allegedly Clayton Griffiths, and we see others in that hallway. It's others in that hallway, guys. And I see a maintenance man walk through the hallway he was an African American maintenance man. He's dragging a trash can with cleaning supplies. And that was during the same time. That you would see Clayton Griffith and allegedly Clayton, but definitely, Brandon Bell in the hallway. You see coaches walking through there. You see some other students walking through there. Can't think into it too much. Everything is in plain sight. They think they're invincible. I agree with you 100%. Shooting to 60 or 30 seconds is normal in most schools for the males, middle plus high school. It's usually in the bathrooms because it's no cameras and no teachers. But that's my experience going to school in Baltimore. Basement, hallways, small corners, on stairs, etc. All of that. Sounds very plausible. And hopefully we'll be able to get into some of that. Like I said, it's just a whole lot of footage. I'm just staring there and you just looking. You don't want to miss something, so your eyes are like this. And I got to figure out how to cut it down or something so I can get it over to you, so you guys can see it. Billy says she believes that it happened in the gym. I swear to God, it was this girl. She was dressed in all black. You can't see her face. She had a black purse swinging and she was walking towards the bleachers. And then all of a sudden she disappeared. And then you see kids playing basketball. I'm like, what the heck? She was still walking. How did the motion detector cut off and she's still walking? To the max. I believe that was a part, the morning that they found him and she was tasked to go climb on the mats. And it is cut off. Crazy work. They not going to do anything like that where there are cameras. No cameras in that gym, or either they were not working. No, I think that they were working, but they tampered with it. We see them working. We see the cameras working in the gym. We see people there. And we see the area of the mat is just super blurry, tampered with. What else we got? Oh, Spark, I know, right? I'm trying to be PG-13. But, okay, so somebody else said there's no camera in the wrestling weight room, okay? I don't see any cameras. I mean, any footage of it anywhere. No mention of it. We don't have no pictures of it. I'm not sure though. Like we're just having a conversation. Mr. Jeffrey says, I bet teachers and students would clap. That's what I heard. That is exactly what I heard, guys. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. No, they're not delayed. They're not delayed. I'm just up there. I'm trying not to miss people. You can see this scroll right here on the right side of the screen. That's real time. But guys, I'm not going to hold you any longer. I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry that the show tonight may have not been what you wanted it to be. I was all over the place. I wasn't prepared. I'm going to try to cut down this footage and see if I can allow you to see some of it. Some of it, you know, like hell, all of it. But it's going to take us forever to get through it, but I don't care. It's worth every bit of it if we can find out what happened to that baby. Until then, continue to please say Kendrick Johnson's name. Please pray for the Johnsons. Please praise the Lord for victory right now. And please think about what you hear. Think about what you see. Meditate on it. Don't just believe everything. I'm talking about even tweets. Even tweets. It's fake pages out there trying to steer narratives too. You know, and then somebody slide you something like, "Who look?" Da da da. I'm looking at them sideways like, I don't know if I'm gonna post that. Yes, Nico, we talked about Carl, child. We talked about Carl. Was you here when we read the statement, the wrestling statement? I'll post those tomorrow so you guys can read them yourself. But yeah, it's some shady stuff going on, guys. But I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm gonna try to make it back tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll have some of this this footage cut up so we can like go through it. If I can't get the footage cut up in time, of course we still got crime scene photos. We haven't even finished that yet. We have not even got through all those yet. So we can always go through those while I'm chopping up footage. Okay? So I appreciate you guys. I'll post it for you. I'll post it for you, Z-Brat. Z-Bat. Sorry about that. That's right, Carl. That's right, Nico. That was his cousin. But yes, Z-Bat. I will post it for you. I won't post it tonight because my brain has to be clear and I don't want to make no mistakes. So we did go over it tonight. So you can always watch the replay or back it up a little bit, rewind it, and you can see us go over the wrestling statements as well if you can't wait until tomorrow. But excuse me, guys, I'm so tired. My tongue is really twisted. I get tongue twisted a lot. That's why I use voiceovers because that TBI thing I have. But thank you so much for bearing with me through that. Okay, I love y'all, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night and over on the Blue Book. Peace.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for coming. Please like, share, and subscribe. Come back again.